All right, Algebra 1 students. Today we're going to look at Unit 1, Lesson 15, Comparing Data Sets. The goal for this lesson is I can compare and contrast situations using measures of center and measures of variability. So we're going to look at what is the best center to use, what is the best measure of variability in different situations. And this will depend on the type of graph that we're looking at, what's going to be best. So a couple things to review are outliers, which is a data value that is unusual in that it differs quite a bit from the other values in the data set. Remember, there are two ways to figure out if a number is an outlier. If it's on the small side, the left side of the graph, you would use Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR to check if it's an outlier. And if it's on the right side, if it's the bigger part, then you use Q3 plus 1.5 times IQR. Use those and you can determine whether the extreme is an outlier or not. We also want to remember standard deviation, which is the measure of variability similar to MAD. Remember, we use this symbol. We'll use our spreadsheets to figure out standard deviation. All right, so to kind of get us started, we want to have our warm-up. What we have here is we have 4 people that are trying out for a bowling team. You need to pick 2 of those people. What you want to do is you want to use the graphs and the data to determine which 2 you want and kind of write down your reasoning that you chose who you chose. So here, person A has a mean of 118.96. a median of 111, the standard deviation is 32.96, and the IQR is 44. Here's kind of a graph of where they scored. So notice most of them are on the low end here. So we have a lot low, and then it tails off to a little bit higher here. Person B has a mean of 131.08, median of 129, a standard deviation of 8.64, and an IQR of 8. Notice here, a little bit higher values, and there's less of them here, so it goes up a little higher. So they scored some points here more consistently. Person C, the mean is 133.92, median 145, standard deviation of 45.04, and an IQR of 74. Notice how this one is kind of spread out. We have some low, it gets a little bit higher and hits kind of a peak here, and then trails off to these top ends. Person D has a mean of 116.56, a median of 103, standard deviation of 56.22, and an IQR of 31.5. Notice in this one, most of the data is over to the left, and we have a little bit of data to the right here. So kind of looking at this. So using the graphs, using the numbers, what you need to do is determine which 2 bowlers you think will make your team the best and why. Remember, there isn't really a wrong answer as long as you have a good reason why you have chosen the 2 bowlers that you've chosen. All right, bring that to class tomorrow and we'll have a discussion about exactly why you chose what you chose. Thanks.